With seasonal menus featuring fresh, local ingredients and well-chosen wine pairing options, the selections at the Old Vine Cafe are just too fun to choose from. Chef Mark McDonald turns his classic training and extensive European travels into serious food and wine. Be prepared to wait for a table on the weekends, but there's plenty of visual around to distract you. The Old Vine Cafe is nestled within The Camp, an alternative-style outdoor mall in Costa Mesa which exudes eco-friendly and bohemian lifestyles. Situated amongst lots of greenery and rustic buildings, there's unpaved pathways leading to numerous uber-groovy shops to check out. A hit with trendy hipsters of all ages and families alike, the Old Vine Cafe is a wonderful Orange County destination. Here at the Old Vine Cafe at the Camp, which is kind of this alternative mall out here in Costa Mesa, and I just have to stop and say that what I love the most about doing this job, not second to eating all day long, is occasionally you find something spectacular like this particular restaurant that has such unusual fresh interpretations of flavor and just a really special dining experience for me. This is my kind of food.
How do you find this place? I mean, it's kind of hidden away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have found it. I've got some friends that are pretty healthy. They exercise and they eat right, and this is very contradictory of my lifestyle. I wear leather shoes, I don't exercise, I eat a lot of meat, and I drink a lot. So here there's yoga studios, and it's a very healthful kind of environment.
You know, right in front of the restaurant here, there's sequoias, and I feel like I'm in Montana or Colorado or Wyoming. It doesn't feel like you're right here in Orange County.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely hidden away. So it's got a lot of cool factor to it. So
now they're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, brunch on the weekends, and we need to get rolling in on those brunch items. So get started. Tell us about that pumpkin pecan.
Pumpkin pecan French toast. Oh, can't you just taste it? This consists of baked French toast, and what it is our artisan sourdough. It's layered with caramelized apples with brown sugar. It's a large 3 by 3 inch square, just square of love. That's all I call it. That's all I got here. It's absolutely delicious. It's sprinkling of dried fruit. It's pecans, figs, dried apricots, blueberries, a little whipped cream. Absolutely delicious.
This is so not your grandmother's style French toast. I mean, it's really dense, almost kind of like a bread pudding, and it's got the rich, sweet accompaniments of the dried fruits and the toasted pecans. This dish to me is like freaking birthday cake. I mean, it's just like a special once in a lifetime or once a year kind of treasure that you know you can come and have every Sunday.
It's actually perfect in just about every way. Texture,
yeah, nice,
flavor,
subtle pumpkin flavor, and not overly sweet. Just
but the next dish.
Happy birthday to me. Okay, seriously, this dish was extraordinary. The chicken fried beef tenderloin and eggs. This is 6 ounces. I thought it was a little bit larger, actually, of prime vintage beef tenderloin. And when they say tender, they mean it. It's 2 inches thick, easy. It's coated twice with a panko, coarse cornmeal mixture, and then it's fried tenderly. Oh, so tender. Then, aside from that are the grits. Now these are homemade grits blended in with manchego cheese, which is a little bit tart and tangy, and then a really, really strong cheddar, an aged cheddar. It's creamy and decadent, and then it's topped with this gorgeous red wine reduction with black peppercorns, a little bit of spice, a little bit of heat, and then these amazing, perfect, gooey eggs. Now you can get your eggs any way, but why would you have them any other way than over medium, where you can spread out that yolk and go crazy.
One thing that impressed me is not only just the food, but the making of eggs. These eggs are perfect. This is like you find
in plastic.
Yeah, they look like they're plastic. They're perfect eggs.
It's not easy to do, but he pulled it off in several of our dishes. And I just want to say, for breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever, this dish was just spectacular.
And the next one was just as good too. This is rabbit mole. I mean, you don't expect it to, to have it in a restaurant like this, but it's braised rabbit that's absolutely delicious, smothered in a rich mole sauce made with pasilla chilies, cashews, cocoa, cumin, garlic, and a rabbit stock, a little cream in it, I believe. Absolutely delicious. It serves a large piece of homemade cornbread, nice and moist, And again, 2 perfectly cooked and looking eggs. And
really
when you
great.
combine the eggs, the mole, everything, when you combine it, it's delicious. Your mouth just jumps for joy. It's so much fun to eat.
Absolutely. Well, you know that if you're opposed to bunny, I mean I love rabbit. They're super cute and I love to pet them, but they're so great to eat too. But if you're opposed to bunny, maybe ask him for a chicken or something else, because you have to try this mole sauce. The decadent balance of the cashew nut, the nuttiness of that, a little bit of the heat, and the subtleness of the chocolate. Just, I mean, this was a stellar sauce on the rabbit. And,
why did I think of just heaven? Culinary heaven.
I know, I told you. And then wait, what's next?
Scallops.
Oh, so this dish is so sexy, seriously. Sauteed sea scallops. This is really pretty. He should be proud of his plating technique, because everything is just so artful. This is 3 extremely large, meaty, sweet jumbo scallops that he sears to a nice caramelized brown on top, a little bit of microgreens on top, to dusted with a little microgreens. And then he did this with a tarragon cream sauce. Now, tarragon is one of the easiest herbs to work with, because it just boasts so much flavor, and this was just a pop of sweet tarragon in this delicate cream sauce. It was so velvety and gorgeous.
There's nothing better than those big, giant, succulent scallops.
Those
I mean,
were
what a treat.
beautiful. And to pair along with that, he brought in a really lovely Bourgogne, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, a really lovely French Chardonnay. Beautiful pairing with that.
Excellent. Now, the next dish is going to blow you away. Literally, it's going to curry your hair. This is the Indonesian curry shrimp. These are 3 of the largest prawns I've ever seen anywhere. It's like a Chernobyl shrimp. They were gigantic, sautéed in soju, which is Korean sake, and finished with a lemongrass curry sauce and with flash-fried glass noodles on top. Lovely lemongrass flavored sauce. It had some heat to it, a lot of heat actually, but it was delicious and just succulent. Prawns, those shrimp are just amazing.
They were spaghetti. This dish was kind of ridiculous. I mean, I'm thinking of leaving my boyfriend and kind of working on Chef Mark as my new chef crush.
Well, you know,
I just love it.
I don't love him, but his food's amazing. What's amazing, I think, more than anything else is it's a little Latin American flair, it's a little Asian flair, it's a lot of different influences. But one thing that he uses is everything is fresh, and he's a stickler for just the best quality ingredients.
Absolutely.
And he takes his time, and a very creative menu, and that's what makes this whole dinner, breakfast, lunch just so good.
It's very global, and the wines, of course, are spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
So this one was paired with a really nice German Riesling, and you know, moving on to the next. We have red beans and farro. Now, a lot of people don't know what farro is. It's actually a wheat grain. It dates back to the Roman legions, and it was once considered to be like a rustic peasant grain. Now it's kind of finding its way into a lot of upscale restaurants. It's got unbelievable texture to it. It's super chewy, almost meaty. It's crusty. It's super satisfying. This one was blended in with red beans, shiitake mushrooms, egg yolk, and aged Gouda. And then they kind of fry it and caramelize the mushrooms, and got them super sweet. And the whole mess of it is blended in with pork fat to make it just absurdly delicious.
When I first saw it, I thought of a Seder plate. I'm like, there's hardly any food on here. I'm going to starve to death. I'm going to have to eat, you know, before I come here again. But it was fantastic. The flavors,
Wasn't it
the
great?
mushrooms were crispy, fried real crispy. It was delicious, and the pork fat. I mean,
I thought
sorry,
it was going to be a
vegetarians.
vegetarian dish until he told me that. I'm like,
Yeah, I thought it was for a
That's where
vegetarian.
all the flavor came from.
I thought it was vegetarian too, but just a lot of flavor, a lot of texture.
Yeah.
I would definitely order this again.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
fantastic.
And he paired this one with a Croatian red wine called R6. Never heard of it before. Beautiful bottle. Then you had something else vegan.
Well, for you vegans out there, we made a little fun of you because of the pork fat. This had no pork fat in it. This is a Cajun quinoa. This is a large portion of quinoa with seasonal vegetables. I think it had zucchini, carrots, onions, and a couple other things in there, with a fresh cilantro puree. This had a nice kick to it. It had a Cajun, I have here a delicious Cajun hot. I don't know how else to describe it. It was just a nice dish, and
Did you like it?
I like spicy, but this had a nice afterglow to it. The Cajun spices really kicked it up, and
I thought it was really earthy, kind of like maybe someone stepped onto my tongue and wiped their Birkenstocks on it or something. It was just not. Okay, with all due respect to Chef Mark, everything else was amazing. I could do without the quinoa.
You think a slab of meat would be good on that?
Fantastic, you
That's
know.
what
No,
it was.
yeah, but
Okay.
so, okay.
Dessert.
How do you finish something as extraordinary as this? Oh, you finish it with homemade ice cream. I'm still purring from this stuff. Now, you know, I make ice cream for a living. My company that I work for, I sell gelato and ice cream, and I think we do a pretty darn good job until I tasted it. So, no, he serves this up in a trio. And this was boldly done, I have to say. First, he started off with a typical Tahitian vanilla bean, which was, you know, he makes a custard from scratch. So a lot of people don't. They just, you know, milk and cream and sugar and they throw it into the mixer. But he takes his time, makes a custard out of it first. Tahitian vanilla beans, bean specks in there, topped it off with a little bit of vanilla flavored fleur de sel. Then he did an Italian espresso ice cream that was equally as delicious with a little espresso biscuit. And then, you know, so adventurous, the highlight was the blue cheese ice cream. Seriously, it's a very difficult way to go for most people because there's not a lot of market for blue cheese in a dessert. This was fantastic.
Rich, creamy, a lot of cream, a lot of egg yolks, and there's almost like a custard, a very
It is
thick
a custard.
custard. It was fantastic. I love blue cheese.
I could bathe in this, and he drizzled a little bit of a honey and pistachio over the top of it. I would pair it with a really nice sweet sauterne, a French sauterne dessert wine, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Now, again, his creative touches are just amazing. The platings are nice, and something, you know, at first you look at it and they're like, yeah, but then when you eat it, everything just really hits your taste buds, and it makes you happy eating here. Plus, it's just a neat place where it's at.
I appreciate everything that he does, and you know, even more so, what draws me to this is his wine pairings. I mean, the guy is all about the wine. His sommelier is almost master licensed. They have 12 different tasting menus, just tasting menus, from vegan to vegetarian to savory to Italian, and from $60 to $80, you can get a 4 to 5 course pairing menu. Spectacular. He does prefix menus. He does wine classes. Once a year, he takes a tour to Calabria, Italy, and for 10 days, you cook Italian food with him, and he leads that tour. So this guy knows his wine. He's exceptionally well trained, and I think that his interpretations were awesome. His presentations are very artful. His flavors were all there, super bold and wonderful, and I couldn't be more pleased. So what did you love?
The entire table. I love the rabbit mole, the shrimp for sure, although it had a nice kick. I love lemon, so this is the great lemongrass. And you got to have the chicken fried, or the
Was
chicken fried
that
steak.
absurd? Like, seriously, was that the best thing you've ever had?
And that egg, look at the egg. It's 8 hours
perfect.
later, it's still like perfect. I mean,
I loved the beef tenderloin as well with the grits. I thought the scallops and the I mean, he does seafood here extremely well, and I'm coming back like tomorrow.
well, you know, I don't live real close, but I'm going to come back here again.
Yeah.
This is really worth it. And
I'm glad
if
you
you're looking
loved
for
it.
a great place that's kind of a hipster type of environment, it's just a fun place to sit and watch people. That's the other thing. So a lot to it. There's like 6-7 restaurants.
I bought a hemp man bag for my boyfriend here.
Well, they have like 6 other restaurants too. 6-7 restaurants.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Seems like a happening place. So.
Yeah.
Well, Jode. I'm so excited, Jode.
No, you're going to go exercise your muscles on your right leg and, you know, hit the gas pedal. Holiday Cafe for fast food?
Fresh fast food.
Yeah.
And a great Greek salad, but well worth it. So
have it.
I will see you later.